Hi everyone, I'm Wrong Rookie, and today we're going to be looking at a sequel to Frogun, which is Frogun Encore. This time not under crowdfunding, as it's being published by Top Hat Studios and under development by Mulgada. The story takes place after the events of the first game. Renetta and Jake are off venturing when suddenly they see disaster. It turns out Beelzebub's henchmen are attempting to revive their dead king, and Renetta and Jake make it to themselves to stop it. The game almost plays a lot like the first game, with the collectibles remaining the same. You have the coins, emeralds, obsidian skull, and notes to find in the levels. While there are 2 objectives you should complete in each level. One is to beat the level without dying, and the other is to beat it with the best time possible. As for the controls, they're largely the same here as well. You use Frogun to grab objects or cling to walls just like in the first game, so there is nothing much to say here. The demo offers 5 levels, which is pretty generous. The first level is fairly straightforward, teaching you most of the things about the game. But I gotta say, I would have much preferred that the game stops you from actually explaining the mechanics instead of allowing you to roam around while Frogun talks to you, as it kinda distracts you from reading the lines, and this problem also appears when you get the notes. The rest of the 4 are based on the desert team, and they offer a bit of variety that wasn't present in the first game. For starters, this level introduces poles that you can swing at. This one has boosters, like in Super Mario 3D World, where you go fast in one direction. And this one here has you blowing up blocks using explosive pots. And it doesn't stop with levels offering new things, as you also get new moves, and 1 new collectible. Now you can do a double jump, which is pretty handy, but you can't grab onto walls when using your double jump, so it's a double-edged sword here. Then you got a move that you can do, a double jump that's kinda like Klonoa, where you toss an object after grabbing it and throw it downward while midair, giving you extra height. For this double jump, you can grab onto walls. Odd. And then the last move is that you can make a leap while getting pulled down. This move is super handy for not just avoiding making contact with spiky objects, but also moving much faster. Because, buddy, let me tell you, you're gonna need it for that level with the hardest time to complete. And for that collectible, there is now one that fully heals you. And this is super handy because in the first game, there was no way to get healed besides touching the checkpoints. What a relief. Even more of a relief is that you can now reset to the last checkpoint you touched. This could be very handy for beating the gold time, and it's pretty handy at least for me. There are also a few things that are added that make the presentation slightly better. Coins now flow around, making it look attractive to collect them, and there are now target signs that indicate that you should use Frogun to grab them. The level design is also solid, retaining the same look and feel as the first game, which I like. But one thing that really got my goosebumps high was the music. Like, holy heck, it is a massive improvement compared to the first game. I mean, the music in the first game is okay, don't get me wrong there, but here, it has heavy guitar and the music is way more upbeat. I can't wait to listen to the overall soundtrack. Oh, and one last thing I almost forgot to mention. The game now supports multiplayer as well. One plays as Renetta and the other plays Jake. I just tested this myself with separate controllers, so pardon my lack of control here. I noticed that if Jake goes further away from Renetta, he gets into a bubble, and the only way to get him back is for Renetta to jump on top of him to pop the bubble. I think it should be the opposite instead. as it could only frustrate someone who is far ahead and can only create issues when it comes to longer levels. Personally, I would like the option to play as Jake instead of him being only a player 2 option. It kinda reminds me of the early days of the Super Mario series, where Luigi is only playable for the second character. While I find the overall experience pretty positive, one thing that worries me is the camera, as this time around the camera cannot be moved. I think I get why this move is done, since now it supports co-op multiplayer, as well as how the levels are this time designed with them being more zoomed out. But I can't help but feel that this could create problems in the long run, as during this playthrough I had problems finding certain collectibles because the camera wasn't in my favor. Not to mention that it can get difficult to jump to platforms precisely as the fixed camera creates issues landing right. Now, it's worth pointing out that the game does give indications of whether you're jumping up platforms or showing your position when going to places that block the character's view, but these aren't always reliable, and I still face certain challenges, at least with landing on platforms. There is also this bug I encountered here where I get stuck and I'm forced to restart the entire level. Hopefully the developer is aware of it and will do his best to address it. I guess time will tell how it turns out, but regardless, I'm looking forward to Frogun Encore when it does come out. Well, that is it with this one. If you like what you've seen, then please give a like, comment, and subscribe. And in the meantime, thank you for watching Gaming Roki. Have a good one.